G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for episode number 19 of my Lightning Eye Reckoning Archon playthrough, where my pets are being irritating. Go over there. Stop zapping things. I'm trying to talk. So last episode we kind of made it to Homestead, and we did the Pine Barrens section, and we kind of forgot about Olgrim and old mate down here. What's his name? I'm horrible with names. Colin. So we forgot about them.
Good work.
So we're going to send those up to Homestead, and you know what? I don't need to run back there. We'll just riff back to Homestead instead, and do the running on this end. So today's episode is going to be the left side of Homestead, and we'll see how we go with the right side. Unfortunately, I'm a little tight on time this evening, and tomorrow there may not be a video. We'll see how we go. There's something very exciting happening tomorrow that I will talk about in the next episode, which may be tomorrow or the next day. Right, but with that little announcement, or announcement that there will be an announcement out of the way, let's go talk to Olgrim and get underway here. So, right, we will go ahead and speak to Captain Soma here.
The Legion is split on two.
So yes, we are doing the left-hand side, probably just the left-hand side of Homestead today. And the first step in the left-hand side of Homestead is the bug eggs. So we can just more or less run through here and spin around a little bit. Level 74, I believe I may have had some gear waiting for me. Maybe not. Nope, doesn't look like I had anything new at level 74. So, we'll just chuck our pointed physique here. And, we may as well go Wind Devil. I kind of want more in Maelstrom, but I also kind of want more in Wind Devil. So, we'll just do both. And, I will probably pick which one I'm going to do as I get the skill points, and they'll be all over the place. I think I'm actually going to put them into the Wind Devils themselves first. But we're going to max both out at some point anyway. Okay, so got distracted and missed the eggs. So I'm going back for the eggs. And after the eggs, we will be going to... I've just picked up Dahlia's little note here. Dahlia's diary. I'm rifling through her sock drawer to find that. It's not creepy at all, I promise. Then after that, we have a hive to flatten. Or at least Queen in the Hive needs to die. And what else we got? We've got the Exalted Stash from finding the hidden note. Although I guess it's not really all that well hidden. So we'll go actually find that note first. So there's three, hang on, just mentally checking off the list. There's 4 places where that note can be. So normally I start from the top and work my way down. This time I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So following the road, assuming I don't go the wrong way, which definitely could happen. Nope, found my way to where I need to be. So just here, I can see there's no body there, so I've not found the right place. But this little lectern here, there could be a body kind of on the floor in front of it, and that may have the last will of, and I always get this name wrong, I think it's either Matthias or Marthas. I'm gonna go with Marthas. Marthas is my guess. I'm pretty sure I've found it just here. This rotting corpse. So yeah, just in that little spot there. Then there is... it's Marthas. Yes, win. I don't get those very often when it comes to names. So that second place is obviously the second place it could be. Third place is on the floor in the middle of this little barn. I think it's kind of here-ish. I don't remember the exact location, but it's something like that. And then the fourth location is way over to the west, well past the Rift Gate, which we are going to go and collect pretty much now. The easy way to find it, if you haven't found your last will of Everbrook, go to this Rift Gate and just literally head due west, and you'll find a building, which should be coming on screen any second here. There it is. And this is the building. So that's the easy way to find it. I've obviously already found the will, so I don't need to go there. And actually I can save running back by rifting over here. Because I am going to go and rescue that that trapped demon who's stuck inside the body of a little girl. Because nobody wants that. That's cruel and unusual torture. So the whole point of this quest is basically to turn a dynamite into a Blood of Chthon, which is a really good trade. Anyone who's ever tried to craft a whole bunch of keys, or skeleton keys for various dungeons, knows that getting your hands on enough Blood of Chthon to actually craft the keys can be a little tricky, whereas dynamite is just aether crystals. So take the bottom option until you are a deceiver demon, and then we can attack. And we more or less just rub our face on it, as it were, until it dies. And there we go. 1 Blood of Chthon, and it cost us a dynamite to get in here, so that's why I say we're trading a dynamite for a Blood of Chthon. And then we just rift back to the rotting croplands. You can run, and I have ran in the past, and then felt very silly when I finished running and realized that I could have just rifted back. So learn from my mistakes and do it this way. Now this Aether Warped Totem here, this is one you can farm, either whenever you get here, or you can farm it later once you're looking for gear. But this can be quite dangerous. Now this can be here, or it can be kind of just here, I think it is, but I'll show you the other places as I get to them. I am going to activate this, but this can be quite rippy, so just be aware if you click on this, there is a good chance that it's going to kill you. Usually by this stage in the game you should be okay, but ancient totems are always a little bit hit and miss, especially these ones, because as you can see they can have the Storm Titans and all the rest of it in there, and can be quite dangerous. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I got anything good out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and eat those blueprints for relics that I'm never going to use. We're not going to use these weapons. And I don't think any of these affixes are looking particularly interesting. Stonehide of Fortitude could be good. Just for the resistances, but the Bone Shattered Treads are almost certainly better. Overseer's Helmet is always good. Overseer, they're giving you armor absorption. So that would free up, for example, my shoulders or my pants. I wouldn't need a scaled hide anymore if I had an Overseer's Helmet. That said, it would absolutely break a lot of my resistances to do that, so probably not. Of Kings is a pretty good proc, especially if you're not already at the attack speed cap. I've seen this come up in the comments a few times. Eye of Reckoning scales based on attack speed. So if you look at the orange text there, it says requires a melee weapon, and at 100% attack speed, that is the base amount, so if you have no gear, you will have 100%. Or I guess no gear and no points spent in anything, you'll have 100%. Eye of Reckoning deals damage and drains energy every 0.16 seconds. So with more attack speed, it will deal damage and drain energy every, or more often, basically. So yes, Eye of Reckoning is an attack speed scaling skill. I think attack speed is one of the very few stats that actually apply to player scaled pets as well. Don't quote me on that one, but definitely Eye of Reckoning scales based on attack speed. So getting your hands on 10% more attack, well, it's total speed, so it's attack speed, move speed, cast speed, all in one stat. Getting your hands on 10% more of that, even if it's slightly less than half the time going to be active, still pretty good. And actually, what is my attack speed? So up to 156%, so yeah, another 10% would be very welcome. I'm not going to wear that particular piece of gear, but that proc is quite good. I think it's available on most armor pieces from memory. Don't think you can get it on jewelry though. Okay, Aetheros, who it seems like I always kill when I come through this place. Right, let's go show the other location that that particular totem could be. which is going to be after I kill Asper, the Swift here. Okay, we got the Fiend Gaze Tome, which without even looking at it is going to be either Chaos or Vitality damage, and I'm not going to use it. Was I correct? Chaos and Fire converted to Chaos. Oh, it's got pet stuff on it too. Okay. Yeah, Fire and Chaos. Lovely. Not damage types we are doing, so we're not going to use it. Okay, just here is the other location, or one of 3 locations. First one being here, second one being here, third one being way up north. So this is the second location for the totem. Actually, there's a third location over here, which, since we already spoke about a third location, this would be the 4th location, but actually it's the 3rd. How to absolutely butcher a sentence. Okay, it could be here as well. There we go. So there's 4 locations, not 3. I'm heading up the left side here because I want to get the Exalted Stash that's over here. You'll see it on the map, this little blue dot here, this detonation site. This is unfortunately trading a dynamite for a potential blue or better item, and honestly, a lot of the times I would say this is not worth the trade, but you won't know if it's worth the trade until after you pop this open, and this time I got the Storm Cage Leg Guards, which for a lightning melee build is pretty good. It's pretty good. So that trade I would say is absolutely worth it. Let's actually have a look at those pants. So next level, assuming I can fix resistances, then this is my new pair of pants. It has a damage proc. It has a lot more armor. The lightning and electrocute damage is a nice to have, but I'm not really looking at it. The offensive and defensive ability is very, very nice. +2 to Maelstrom, pretty sure is this one? Yeah. So skill points that are relevant, all good stuff. How is our resistances? So that is going to uncap. No, it's not. No, it's not. Elemental will be fine, and we need to come up with 14% Aether resistance from somewhere. Now, what I could do is take that anti-venom salve off that's doing absolutely nothing on my helmet. Well, a bit of a regen and some armor. I could swap that out for a runestone, which is probably what I'm going to do. So, yes, absolutely. I will be wearing those pants next time I get a level. We'll have to go do some component juggling, but it's worth it. Unfortunately, the proc is when I get hit rather than when I'm doing the hitting, which is not ideal. I definitely prefer damage procs to be when I hit things rather than when I get hit, but you can't win them all. Wasperex the Swift, that's the second Swift hero we ran into this episode. And, oh, I found it relatively quickly. Okay, so I don't need the Devotion Shrine, but I am using a Gollus Ring, which means it is worth it for me to head down and kill Gollus. So even though I don't need that Devotion Shrine, I am going to go see Gollus anyway, so I may as well hit it on the way past. And speaking of hitting things on the way past, Grand Vizier Luzakal can go down. That was a pair of boots with of kings there. Loss of armor is not huge, but also not great. Uncapping, not uncapping bleeding resist. This is kind of tempting, actually. It's a lot of health. I would lose some offensive ability, I would lose some movement speed, but I think run speed should be... Yeah, I don't need that. The offensive ability, I'm way higher on offensive than I am on defensive. And these boots do have defensive, so... I'm probably not going to swap them, just because of the loss of armor. But that is actually a viable option to swap there. Having said that, does this have bleeding? No, it doesn't. Okay, this first cave entry right here, we're heading down here entirely to check for the Exalted Stash. Now, if the Exalted Stash isn't here, we could maybe get the consolation prize of Anoxus, the Hive Guard, which is just a hero that's almost always here. The Exalted Stash would be kind of here-ish. It's not, so the reason I came down here isn't happening. I actually don't see a Noxus. There he is. See that aura? That's a Noxus. He is pretty much always here. That's actually something there hurts a lot. I'm pretty sure it was a Noxus. Probably putting goop on the floor that I was standing in. I didn't see exactly what it was, but something there was definitely painful. That's alright. That is what we have Ascension for, and I should be using that more often, more proactively as well. We did indeed fire off our circuit breakers too, so a little risky there. Okay, so we've discovered that the first little cave there does not have our Exalted Stash. So let's see if our Exalted Stash is in the second little cage here. Or a little cave, I should say. There is a body in this little hidden wall here. This hidden remains. This is going to give me 2 rares and maybe something better. So it's probably worth hitting that. That's the equivalent of a, was it hidden stash, I think they call it. So worth hitting those. Basically 2 rare or better items. And this area here, annoyingly, has blocked me off there, so I'll have to go around. But I want to check just up the top here for the Exalted Stash, and it's not here by the looks of it. It's usually kind of here-ish, and I'm going to say that it is indeed not here, which means I know exactly where it is now. It's going to be in the Queen's Chambers, in the little alcove directly to the left of the Queen. So, good news, everybody. I know exactly where it is. Bad news, it's kind of annoying. Alright. I'm going to hit this Devotion Shrine because it's a fight. It's kind of a slightly weaker totem at this point. And I really need to make sure I'm not in that poison when that wears off. Okay. So I think the poison is mostly gone. Elixir of the Hunt is decent. Attack, casting, and movement speed. It's basically 8% total speed and 7% movement speed. I thought that was a much shorter duration. But that is a pretty good potion. Unfortunately, with the changes to potions, you can only have 1 elixir and 1 oil active at a time now. Which, yeah, it's not great if you're one of those people who enjoyed chugging an entire pharmacy before trying to do any kind of boss fights, like, for example, the Ravager. You can no longer do that. Alright, here's Gollus, and he's got a friend. How about that? Algrok, the blind berserker. Well, his friend was not very durable. Alright, and Gollus is dead. What do you got for me? Maniacal of the Void. Okay. That's rubbish. But that's alright. It's worth coming down here just to see if you can get a good ring from Gollus. Gollus rings surprisingly good, and getting them every time you kill him instead of 1 in 3 or 50%. I think it was 1 in 3. It used to be that you would kill him and get nothing more than half the time. So getting a drop every single time you kill him now is a pretty big improvement over what it used to be. Turns out walls are hard, just like stairs. How do they work? Alright, so that's the second little hole there. And that just leaves a Vizier to find, which I just got him. Nope, that's Corrosinex. So we go. Ooh, hang on. Did I indeed kill him already? Okay, there's 1 pheromone gland. So the answer is no, I didn't kill him yet. Okay. So Lozakal is dead. Here is Inixil, so here we go. Alright, cool. Using Ascension because I need to train myself to hit that button more often. Thornhide leg guards, I believe is retaliation, so no. Although having said that, they've got good armor that might be worth using. Yeah, so the proc is just retaliation damage, which is basically worthless. Physical resistance is nice. Less damage from beasts is actually very, very nice. Surprisingly powerful, actually. Less damage from beasts, because a lot of things count as beasts. And not just Chupacabra, who's permanently waiting behind the next bush to jump out and kill you. Although, we have a little way to go. But yeah, a lot of things count as beasts, and taking 7% less damage from them is pretty good. So I do come down here for the heroic chest. Actually didn't know that was there. Harmonious of Mending is really nice affixes. What was that on? I think it was ring or a belt? It was a belt. Okay. Storm Shepherd is really, really good. Yeah, I can't justify that. So that's fine. That'll remain there. We're going to thin the herd a little bit, and here is my Exalted Stash. So let's go ahead and grab that. Aether Steel Arbiter is my blue or better item from there, which is not great. I'm obviously not going to be using that. Alright, so Swarm Queen Ravna. Now, ideally I want to save Ascension for when she gets off the wall. There we go, beautiful. And if you can, you want to try and stay in melee range of her when she's on the wall so she doesn't spit so much poison at you. Activated Ascension here, and she should die before it wears off, actually. There we go, she's dead. I'm level 75. Tyrants of Decay is not horrible if you're doing a poison type thing, which if you're using this, you probably are. So that's actually a pretty good drop for a different build. It's time to say goodbye to old Smiley and head back to town. I think I will kill the Aether Cow first, though. So we'll just jump out of the cave here, and I'll head on over to the old barn, and we can take care of the Aether Cow. Do a little bit of inventory Tetris, juggling all our resistances and such. Okay, so this guy here is reflective. Now, he's not doing a huge amount at the moment. That's mostly because I had Ascension active, and lots of small hits get reduced to no damage when you have damage absorption like that. So, pretty happy about that. Alright. We'll get the Aether Cow, but first I need to empty my inventory, and since I'm in town to empty my inventory, I may as well do my gear Tetris while I'm here. Now, the only piece I'm looking to change is those pants. Although this ring probably isn't bad either. Let's just chuck that on. And then, in terms of rings, this is going to replace Aether and Elemental and Pierce. So I think the Slith Ring. The Slith Ring has Vitality, which we can get back with another, what are they called? Another Soul Shard. It has Poison and Acid, which we are way over the cap for. And it has Elemental, which this ring had more of. This also comes with Aether Resistance and a Lightning proc, so very happy about that ring. Very happy also about changing these pants over. So yeah, let's buy those back. I didn't mean to sell them. Alright, so Soul Shard on the ring. There we go. I don't need to put a runestone on my helmet, but maybe it's a good idea to get a new helmet component, because that is doing basically nothing. And we can sell those. Most of this stuff actually can go. Anything that looks green, anything that's blue, can all go. Let's just check out the rings. It's actually not horrible. That's pretty bad. Okay. So what else is on this helmet? Not much. Right, let's keep the item. We'll free that up. Ideally, I want to put a prismatic diamond on there. Let's keep this add-on as well, because I do want my armor rating to be capped. And resistances are back to max, which is lovely. 30% over an Aether, 30% over an Chaos. That's actually really good. Vitality could do with a bit more, piercing a bit less, poison slightly more, and elemental, yeah, I definitely want some more elemental. Okay. Well, I can't have it. Well, actually I could. I could put a hallowed ground on my chest instead of the chains of Oleron. But I think we're think we're good for now. Throw that on the floor. Okay. Let's just see if I can make a prismatic diamond, because they are always worth having, and I should already have the blueprint. So, prism, can make it, I think, if I have enough parts for all the rest. Radiant gem, I think, is molten skin, dense fur, and what's the other one? Lightning rigid shell. Makes a radiant gem. I may have made this just a few times too many. And I think it's an arcane spark, isn't it? So I'm short on those. Yeah. It is arcane spark. Okay. So I can't get it just yet. That's fine. We'll hang on to that. I've got the radiant gem, so when I do eventually get around to making that, I'll probably make another one, and then I'll have two. And yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Who wouldn't want to have a radiant gem just taking up room in their inventory? No, I would. Alright, let's go and kill the Aether Cow, and then that's probably going to be the end of today's episode. It's already getting a little bit close for time, so let's push through this. Alright, gotta grab the loot though. Can't be leaving loot on the floor. Says the guy who often talks about walking past loot so it doesn't take up room in his inventory. Look, I don't make the rules, I just think them up and write them down. Okay, once again using Ascension to kind of nullify the reflection there, although it didn't really last all that long, so the idea was there, the thought was there. Execution not so great, but you know, that's kind of my MO. The idea and the thought was there, but executing it not so good. Also got a couple more points there, so let's refresh our whirly boys. And try and stay out of the Aether Goop while we head on through to the big glowing cow. I say as I stand in Aether Goop. Alrighty, I think that's pretty close to everybody dead. Can the pets get out there? They kind of can. We've been zapping him through the wall. Lovely, okay. I'm definitely noticing that the energy runs out a little bit. I'm just waiting on Ascension here, and then we are going to go and whack the cow, make some steak, however you want to look at it. So I think I'm just going to kill him in here. If I need to, I can back out and sort of dodge to the side to avoid the waves, but I think he's dead before he starts doing them. Yeah. So his next attack, after he does these little wave thingies, is the... after he does the plumes, the next attack is the waves. He died before he got a chance, so... Winner winner, chicken dinner, or, you know, glowing green steak. I don't know how you want to look at it. Alright, so one thing I've been forgetting to do while I've been coming back to town here is talking to my good friend Isaiah here. We've done all of those things. Thank you for that extra bag, by the way. And I do want to begin, or at least go back to checking helmets, because I looked at that helmet I'm using, and honestly, it's not very good. This is potentially much better. I do kind of need that bleeding resistance though, so maybe not. Anyway, check that point in physique. I always forget the attribute points. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to all of these guys. I will rescue the prisoners. Now, we sided with... Who did we side with? I think it was Kaiman's idiots. Yeah, Kaiman's Chosen was the ones we sided with. So I'm just going to continue that. Unfortunately, that means we have to continue being buddy-buddy with the Kaiman's bigots. But, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, agree to that, absolutely. We also need to inform Dahlia that we went through her sock drawer. So, there's your diary back. And I may as well pick up these quests while I'm here too. Right, but that is actually going to be the end of this episode, so I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Come back next time for the Chaos side of Homestead. And, yeah, that'll be it. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.